My name is Ryan Mueller, and I am from Toronto, Canada. Well, when it comes to teaching guitar, one thing that Tom Hess has helped me out with a lot is simply enlightening me to know what the learning process for a student is actually like, right? It's interesting hearing about what that's like because I remember my own learning process as a growing musician that, I still go through because I still have goals that I like to reach as a guitar player. And it's enlightening because you have you have a very clear picture of what a student actually needs to do to get the result that they want, right? And it's not just a matter of, I'm just going to show you stuff. It shows you how you can help students set goals and reach those goals and go simply, instead of being just a random guitar player, but being a good musician, So they feel like they're not just playing a song, but they can actually do more things. And a big part of that is simply knowing how to train their mindset, how they can actually achieve those things. I think that's something that a lot of teachers don't really take into account, don't really know how to train their students' mindsets and how to help them believe in themselves. And I think when I think about all the best teachers I've had throughout my life, whether it was in school or in martial arts, those are qualities that they all had in common. And that's something that I'm now starting to see clearly thanks to Tom Hess's help, and I'm trying to emulate that for my students because that's what's important. I think what made me want to start teaching guitar and to turn into a serious lifetime business and career is, I think overall, just the realization that you actually can turn that into a lifestyle that is fruitful, is prosperous, and is liberating for you on many levels, financially, time-wise, and emotionally as well. Back before I was teaching, I'm not in my day job anymore, but back when I was in my day job, it was something that I did sort of like, but when I think about what sort of ladder I would have needed to climb in order to really get the fulfillment I wanted out of that, I wasn't passionate about it enough to really want to climb that ladder, invest that time. Whereas with teaching guitar, now that when I realized that, hey, you can actually make a career out of that, it was really easy for me to want to invest myself into that, be the best teacher I can be for my students, and want to continuously work and implement to grow my business because it's something that it's part of who I am. It's weird. I remember back when I was in school, it was something that my first class I ever taught, long before I joined the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle, long before I even found out about Tom Hess, was back in high school, and it was just like a random. So I was substituting for another teacher one time. It was sort of spur of the moment, but I had a lot of fun there, and the students that I helped out there, they were saying, like, Ryan, you should actually be a teacher, right? And I didn't consider it at the time, but after a lot of consideration afterwards, I decided to take that up, and it's something that I love doing. Music's been such an important part of my life over the years, and the fact that I get to see my students every week and help them install that sort of passion into them, there aren't many feelings that are greater than that. You get to share your passion. I think what made me choose Tom Hess to be my guitar teaching and business mentor was overall seeing proof and results of that his methods and his knowledge and what he teaches does actually lead to a tangible result that is achievable by anyone who simply commits themselves to put in the work, ask the right questions, follow their mentor's advice, and be persistent with what they want to achieve with their business, right? There's a lot of people who they can make a lot of claims, but they can't really back them up, whereas Tom Hess has proven over the years that, time after time after time again, he can help you deliver those results, not as in, hey, I give it to you on a silver platter. It's, I show you the way, and if you follow the path, you will get the result. There's literally no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's what made me put my trust in him, because I could tell when I met him and when I talked to him, and simply from being in the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle, that this is a guy who knows what he's talking about and does it, and talks not just from knowledge, but from experience and wisdom. And that's what you need in a mentor. I think what convinced me that the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle was right for me was just seeing the success that other people in that program have had since starting their businesses, following what Tom Hess tells them to do, and how they've grown as a business owner, as a teacher, as people. And yeah, just seeing those results, that's what convinced me. It's like, hey, if these people can do it, there's no reason why I can't. My teaching skills have improved immensely since starting the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle. I'm much able to take what a student wants to learn, what they want to achieve on guitar, and be able to craft a plan for them that will lead them to the result that they want. And whenever there's an obstacle that blocks them that's stopping them from playing, I can be able to break it down, isolate the root of the problem, help them overcome that, while still being able to motivate them and help encourage them along the way. Because the earliest, especially like I've had a lot of beginner students, for example, and the early days of teaching, of getting good on guitar and learning, is one of the hardest parts. It's really tough to, put your fingers in this really weird shape, play that C chord, and have it sound like, so. And that sort of thing can be really really demotivating for students. It really crushes their ego because it's a reality check. They're like, I don't know if I can do this. And part of my role as a teacher has been not so much even just teaching them how to do something. I mean, anyone can be like, hey, here's a C chord. But being able to encourage them along the way, help motivate them, help them stay persistent, how they can show them how they can put in the effort to weather that early storm so that they can have fun playing guitar. That's one of the most important things as a teacher, and that's one of the things that I never really clued into until I joined the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle. Since joining the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle, I've had a lot more students come through my door. I've been able to help them help them reach the goals that they have as guitar players, both the modest goals they have, and the ones that are a little bit higher, right? And in doing so, I've been able to earn a good living for myself too. I'm making more money than I was at my day job, which is fantastic. I have a separate location for my business, and it's a great feeling to be able to go in there every week and see people that I genuinely like seeing, who come to me to help them get good at something that they really have always wanted to do. And I'm the guy to help them do that. I'm the guy for the job. So it's been a really liberating experience. And aside from that, like on a personal level too, there's more than just the business side of things that we learn, more than just the teaching side. A lot of being able to build your own business and grow bigger there's a lot of personal growth in there too, right? And there was a lot of personal growth that I felt like I needed, that I was getting through joining the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle, joining the Tom Hess Music Corporation, and letting Tom Hess be my mentor, meeting everybody here at the events and on the forum. And as a result, I feel like I've had more personal growth as a person in the last few years that I've been in this program than in the huge chunk that preceded it. So there's many types of benefits that you can get from joining the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle and from just being involved with the Tom Hess Music Corporation. Before I started the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle, I was sort of like a lot of other people, just working the usual daily grind, the 9-to-5 sort of job, doing a job that, even though it was in an industry that I enjoyed, it wasn't doing something that I really liked. And in order to get that position that I liked, it involved a certain amount of work and climbing a ladder that I didn't really want to do, because at the end of the day, I wasn't as passionate about that, right? So with joining the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle, it's been a total 180. I mean, I work for myself now. I have my own hours. I have a lot more time on my hands to do the things that I want to do, things I enjoy doing, because I create my own schedule. I decide when I work, what I do with my time, and life has become a lot more relaxing that way, because I know, like, I am the master of my destiny that way. So I plan everything I do, right? And having that sense of freedom is incredibly liberating, because you're not chained to someone else's schedule. You set the boundaries, you set the terms, and you just got to follow them. I think, as it stands, the amount of experience that you have as a guitar teacher is irrelevant right now, because the fact of the matter is, I started and I had maybe I think you can count maybe a few days worth of experience before I started teaching as a member of the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle, right? And the bottom line is that if you're serious about what you do, and that means if you're serious about building your own life into something that can be prosperous for you, and in doing so, being the best teacher you can be for yourself and for your own students, and helping them get the results that they want, need, and deserve, And if you're truly committed to providing that sort of value that helps people get that and becoming the best that you can absolutely be, there's no real excuse. Why aren't you in the program already? I mean, if you are serious, you'd be here, because this is where you're going to be if you want to seriously give students the best results, and if you want to help make your teaching something that can easily become your life and something that becomes a lot more fun for you. So, I mean, where are you? Well, it's incredible. I mean, every time I talk to these teachers and every time I'm around them and learn from them, I always feel like I'm getting this new sense of clarity of how I can be a better teacher, how I can build my business in a way that will help make my own life easier, and in doing so, still provide better value for my students, helping them get way better results and helping them feel more motivated and excited to learn guitar. And that's one of the great things about having this sort of group, this sort of mastermind group that you have, where you can regularly contact them, regularly talk and share ideas, and learn how we can all grow at the same time, right? I mean, there's teachers who have been teaching for over a decade, and then there's teachers who are literally just starting out. But it doesn't really matter where you are, because you still have something to learn from everybody, right? Everyone knows no two people's story is the same, so they'll be able to share experiences with you that you might not be able to get from anyone else, right? And the things that you learn from everybody in the program, you only get to learn them because you're surrounded by people who are continuously striving to be the best of themselves. So when you're in an environment like that, it's like, how can you not become a good teacher? The only reason why you wouldn't want to be a good teacher in that case is because you're not serious about it, in which case, well, this isn't the program for you, right? Forum is probably one of the most valuable tools that you can possibly get from being in the Elite Guitar Teachers Inner Circle, because the fact that you have regular access to being able to talk to everybody who's at varying levels all the time, varying levels of experience and in various places in their businesses, some people much farther along, some people just starting out, the forum is such a wealth of information, right? I mean, I remember when I first joined, I was going through the forum for hours, just finding so much incredible stuff. And before that, I was actually a correspondence student of Tom Hess, so it was like seeing the regular forum for the first time. My mind just kept getting blown and blown everywhere, and that's when I really started to realize just how incredible this program is, and just how much potential there is for people who, even if they haven't been playing guitar for as long as someone else, you can still come into the program, you can still become a great teacher and a great player, and you can walk up the stairs and climb that ladder the way that everybody else did, and it's easy to do it. You just got to put in the time and the effort and stay persistent and never give up.